Hello and welcome to part 2 of my tutorial on creating a basic random table and random generator with Chartopia. So in part 1 I showed how to create a simple D10 Star Destroyer random table, but for part 2 I'm going to build upon this by making use of a subtable. So for this example, the parent table will have some basic descriptive text, but we'll call a subchart in order to determine what Star Destroyer to use. So first off, I'm going to show a convenient little trick to migrate a parent chart's content to a subchart. So first, if I was to add a subchart, which is created below, I can go to the CSV Importer tab, copy the content, go to the subchart, paste in the CSV text, parse it, and there is our brand new Star Destroyer subtable. Likewise, if I go back up to the top, I can use the same trick to clear it out. And then I can show how you can just clear some rows, convert it to a D1, revert this back to something simple like just result, turn into our Star Destroyer generator, and now we're set for creating our Star Destroyer random generator. So first off, to call a chart, we can write chart open bracket like so, and this will list all the subcharts available to you. Conversely, we can open up a dialog which shows either your entire personal chart collection, or the subcharts, which we just have the single Star Destroyer, or all the publicly available charts on the entire Chartopia library. For us, we're only interested in the Star Destroyer, and if we let that go and do a test roll, we will get our Star Destroyer subtable being called. Now, notice that this uses an ID. IDs are useful because it prevents name collisions. There are some rules around resolving duplicate names, but we've only got one Star Destroyer subchart, so this will have no problems. So we can use something like this, and you can get the same result. Now, I'm not such a great typer, so I've got a prepared toy example for our embellished text. So what I'm going to do is grab my descriptive text, paste it in here, and now we have something a little bit more akin to a traditional generator. We've got some kind of like story setting, in this case a bit more of an engagement, and we have some text. So the party exits hyperspace, but there's something on the scanners. There's a victory class Star Destroyer and it's closing fast. So now we have something that's a bit more of a generator. Now this is all the formatting in Chartopia uses Markdown. So there are some rich text editing options by doing some double click or some selection. So for example, I can take fast and put a bit of emphasis on that, and you can see the result in the dice rolls. Now that's about it really. So for bonus points, what I'll demonstrate is something called a rollable list. Now sometimes a full-on subchart is a bit too heavy-handed. Sometimes you just want a short list of, sometimes it's just colors, sometimes it might just be some simple loot options. So in the case of this toy generator example, how about we have 3 alternate endings to this engagement. For example, we could have and it's closing fast, or somehow it's tracked you here, or it's turning to engage. And this is done by using curly bracket notation, and the options are separated by a pipe. And you get this fantastic pink color when it renders. And if you do a roll, we now have a random Star Destroyer and a random ending to our generator. Now for extra bonus points to this tutorial, I'm going to show one of the more advanced macros. There's something called an aggregate macro, which allows you to roll on the subchart multiple times, and it bins the results, duplicate results together. So if we take my toy example here, what we're going to do is roll on the Star Destroyer subchart 2d3 times. So we're going to get between 2 and 6 potential Star Destroyers from the table. Now it gets nice deep dark purple render color to show that the macro has changed. Now if we do a test roll, you can see we get a potentially a wide variety of starter stories. So for example, this one only just pulled out 2, but the first one gave us the full 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the whole 6 potential starter stories. And that is about it. So you may notice that if you now publish and view it, we can now see the result that the other users are going to see. So we got our kind of generated text, a listing of our subcharts, and there you have it. One thing of note, which is probably worth mentioning, so it doesn't cause confusion, and this is partly my fault for some UX deficiencies. If you are a D1 table, D1 is a traditional generator, and the D1 by default pulls up a template mode. The template mode is more tailor-made for creating generators, so it allows you to have the option, whoops, going back, let's go forward again, gives you the option to do more traditional markdown formatting. So for example, if I go engagement and prefix it with some markdown notation for an H2 tag, you can see that we have some more formatting options available to us. If you don't like that, you can revert back to the random table mode and get your traditional random table. So that's something that only happens for a D1. So all the best for everyone with your subtable creations.